What's up, everybody? Thank you for checking out this first video installment in my moto vlog adventure here. If you don't know me in the real world, my name is Matt. I have been doing motorcycle related things, mainly on Harley Davidsons, a little bit on dirt bikes, basically my entire life. My dad owned an independent shop. My parents got into Harley Davidson drag racing just after I was born. So I basically grew up at a racetrack. I've put on drag races, promoted them, drag raced myself, put a lot of miles on dirt bikes, put a lot of miles on Harleys, turned a lot of wrenches on shovel heads. And when I was given the opportunity, I went to business school and studied actually graphic design, and then got into the printing industry. I went from there and decided, hey, I should get my master's degree in marketing, so I'm working on that right now and working in the marketing industry in the field. My area of expertise is social media marketing, and I have a focus on photo and video, along with social media graphic development, obviously, because I'm a graphic designer. I generally just call myself like a digital content creator. I finally found this past year that there is this thing called motovlogging, right? And motovlogging is basically taking my two passions of design and motorcycle riding and smashing those things together and creating one thing out of them. What's up, dude? So as you can see, I live in northern Michigan. If you know anything about Michigan, you probably know it's not the best place to be a motorcycle rider year-round. About 6, 7, 8 months a year, it's really, really cold. Today, I'm actually super lucky. It's like almost 90 degrees out today. But there's a lot of time, like during the winter, when you just can't ride, man. It's too cold, it's not safe, there's salt on the road, you're gonna wreck your bike, and I'm just not into that. So I spent this past winter watching a lot of YouTube channels. Dudes like Trip HP Junkie, Bike and Bird, Shade Tree Surgeon, Chase on Two Wheels, John Maxwell, and actually found her two wheels also, and her channel was actually what inspired me to do this motovlogging thing myself. She's from Ohio. She's super cool. If you don't know her, I'll leave a link actually to all of those people in the description down below, so you can go check out some other really cool videos and motovloggers. Yeah, in between her and actually old videos from Blockhead, I decided, like, hey man, these guys are like mashing their passions together. They're doing something really cool with it. I'm a digital content creator. I know marketing, I know video, I love motorcycles, I ride a lot, and I talk to myself a lot, so why don't I try to jam those things all together and give this a shot myself? So what you're experiencing here is that. So one of the big, actually, like the big pushes for me outside of being super inspired by all those creators that I listed earlier, over the winter, one of the big things for me is that last year, actually almost exactly a year ago, my wife and I had our first child. And if you guys have a kid, or if you have friends that have kids, you know that a lot of your passions and hobbies kind of get sidelined when you have a child, because like your whole life is now revolving around this human being, right? Even more so than when you're just like in a relationship or married or anything like that. Like having a kid makes that 100% what your focus is. And personally, the thing that I gave up the most was riding. I gave up a lot of seat time because I'd rather spend time with my family and my daughter. I'm one of those type of people who, I've ridden my entire life. I've always had a motorcycle, and on a motorcycle where I feel the most safe and comfortable and myself, it really does help me be me to ride. So much so that when I start to get funky or like in my own head and acting weird, my wife has been known to just tell me, like, Matt, go out and ride. Like, you need to go clear your head. Go for a ride. Come back when you're yourself again. Which is great to have a spouse that's that supporting, right? So one of the things that I've noticed, especially being, you know, fewer riding days in general because you're up north, and fewer riding hours because you're dedicating that time to something else. I have really let the passion kind of go, and it's affecting me and like my sense of self, which is weird. I've never struggled with that before. So in my mind, if I start putting out moto vlogs and any of you guys out there actually enjoy this content, then that's a reason for me to create more content and to put out more videos. Which sounds really selfish, but I don't know, like if you guys enjoy this, then I want to give you more content. Like I love to create content. And if you enjoy the content that I'm making, I'm shooting for new videos to come out once a week. That's my game plan. Anyway, so one of the things I would love to do is bring you guys along with me on these rides through northern Michigan and experience some of these roads. I live in a town that's actually got more dirt trails than real roads. Yeah, I live in a town that has more dirt trails and ORV trails than actual roads. So ideally, I'd love to get out on some of those. During the winter, I actually just this last year started snowmobiling a little bit. That's way more fun than I ever gave it credit for. So I'd like to video some of that. Take you guys along on that adventure would be really fun. And just kind of, you know, make a exploration riding community out of this gig. Outside of rides like that, I want to go do some town trips with my wife. We love going to Traverse City. Outside of that, like I said a little bit earlier, my dad owned an independent shop, and I've spent a lot of my life wrenching with him on old motorcycles. So I'm actually in the process of building a few really old motorcycles. So if that sounds interesting and you want to see that process with me, I'm going to try to document that all, maybe like a real build series kind of thing. I'm at a point now where I literally have one motorcycle that's a rolling chassis without a motor in it. There's no controls, there's no wiring, it's nuts, it's just a rolling chassis. So I want to build that. I've got plans for a bagger because, I mean, doesn't everybody after a certain age have plans for a bagger? But I'm not just gonna go buy like a Road Glide or something like that, or an Ultra or something. Like I don't, despite being a thoroughbred Harley person my whole life, they're not actually making anything that appeals to me right now. So you'll see on here a lot of older stuff that I'm really into. I personally grew up with AMF era Harleys, so like I said, wrenching on old junk, but I've got a soft spot in my heart for them. If it wasn't for AMF, we'd all be riding Hondas. Yeah, so I've got some plans to do some builds, do some traveling, and I would love to take you guys along on that adventure. If that sounds interesting and exciting to you and you wanna take part in that, then do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button so that you see when I get out a new video. If you're really excited about it, do me a huge favor, hit the bell. That will get you notified every time I put out a video, and we'll see how we can build this community and really get something really cool going out of this. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. Thank you so much. Ride safe.